Hi guys, I'm Matt. Today I'm going to read Joshua 14 to 18, Proverbs 24, and Psalm 57. Let's get started. The rest of the tribes of Israel received their shares of land in Canaan. Eleazar the priest and Joshua, the son of Nun, decided what each of the tribes should receive. The leaders of the tribes helped them make these decisions. The shares of 9 tribes and half of the tribe of Manasseh were decided by casting lots. That's what the Lord had commanded through Moses. Moses had given the 2 tribes and the other half of the tribe of Manasseh their shares east of the Jordan River. But among the other tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim were the sons of Joseph. They had become 2 tribes. The Levites didn't receive any share of the land. They only received towns to live in and grasslands for their flocks and herds. So the Israelites divided up the land, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The people of Judah approached Joshua at Gilgal. Caleb, the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, spoke to Joshua. He said, "You know what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God. He spoke to him at Kadesh Barnea about you and me. Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to check out the land. I was 40 years old at that time. I brought back an honest report to him, and he told him exactly what I had seen. Several other men of Israel went up with me. What they reported terrified the people, but I followed the Lord my God with my whole heart. So on that day Moses made a promise to me. He said, 'The land you walked on will be your share. It will be the share of your children forever. That's because you followed the Lord my God with your whole heart. The Lord has done just as he promised. He has made the promise while Israel was wandering around in the desert. That was 45 years ago. He has kept me alive all this time. So here I am today, 85 years old. I'm still as strong today as I was the day Moses sent me out. I was just as able to go out to battle now as I was then. So he gave me this whole country. The Lord promised it to me that day. At that time you yourself heard that the Anakites were living there. You also heard that their cities were large and had high walls around them. But I will drive them out, just as the Lord had said I would. He will help me do it." Then Joshua blessed Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. He gave him Hebron as his share. So ever since that time, Hebron has belonged to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite. That's because he followed the Lord, the God of Israel, with his whole heart. Hebron used to be called Kiriath Arba. It was named after Arba. He was the greatest man among the Anakites. So the land had peace and rest. The land was given to the tribe of Judah, according to its family groups. He reached down to the territory of Edom, and went as far south as the desert of Zin. Judah's border on the south started from the bay at the south end of the Dead Sea. It went across to the south of Scorpion Pass. It continued on to Zin. It went over to the south of Kadesh Barnea. Then it ran past Hezron up to Ada. It curved around to Karka. Then it went along to Ammon. There it joined the Wadi of Egypt, and it ended in the Mediterranean Sea. That was the southern border of Judah. The border on the east was the Dead Sea. It went north all the way to where the Jordan River enters the sea. The borders of the north start at the bay of the Dead Sea. That's where the Jordan River enters the sea. From there it went up to Beth Hogla. It continued north of Beth Araba to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. Then it went from the valley of Achor to Debir. It turned north to Gilgal. Gilgal faces the pass of Adamim south of the valley. The border continued along to the springs of En-Shemesh. It came to an end at En-Rogel. Then it ran up the valley of Ben-Hinnom. It ran along the south slope of Jerusalem. From there it climbed to the top of the hill west of the Hinnom Valley. The hill is also at the north end of the valley of Rephaim. From the top of the hill, the border headed toward the springs of Naphtali. It went to the towns near Mount Ephron. It went down toward Kiriath Jearim. Then it curved west from Kiriath Jearim to Mount Seir. It ran along the north slope of Mount Keslan. It continued down to Beth Shemesh and crossed over to Timnah. It went to the north slope of Ekron. Then it turned towards Shekaron. It passed along to Mount Bala and reached Jamnia. The border came to an end at the Mediterranean Sea. The border on the west was the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. Those were the borders of the family groups of the tribe of Judah. Joshua gave a part of Judah's share of land to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. That was according to the Lord's command to Joshua. The share Caleb received was the city of Hebron. It was also called Kiriath Arba. Anak came from the family line of Abba. Caleb drove 3 Anakites out of Hebron. Their names were Shushai, Ahiman, and Talmai. They were from the family line of Anak. From Hebron, Caleb marched out against the people living in Debir. It used to be called Kiriath Sefer. And Caleb said, I'll give my daughter Achsah to be married. She will be the wife of the man he attacks and captures Kiriath Sefer. Othniel captured it. So Caleb gave his daughter Achsah to him to be his wife. Othniel was the son of Kenaz. He was Caleb's brother. One day, Achsah came to Othniel. She begged him to ask her father for a field. When she got off her donkey, Caleb spoke to her. He asked, what can I do for you? She replied, do me a special favor. You have given me some land in the Negev desert. Give me springs of water also. So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. Here's the share of land given to the tribe of Judah, according to its family groups. The towns farther south that were given to Judah were in the Negev desert. They were near the border of Edom. Here's a list of those towns. Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kina, Dimona, Adada, Kedesh, Hazor, Ithnan, Ziph, Talem, Bealoth, Hazor, Hadattah, Hazor, Amam, Shema, Moladah, Hazargada, Heshman, Bethpelet, Hazashul, Beersheba, Beziothia, Bala, Ayim, Ezem, Eltalad, Kessil, Hormah, Ziklag, Madmannah, Sansannah, Lebaoth, Shilhim, Ayin, and Rimmon. The total number of towns was 29. Some of them had villages near them. The towns were also given to Judah in the western hills. Here's the list of those towns. Yashal, Zorah, Asna, Zanoah, En-Ganim, Tappuah, Enam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Sokor, Azkar, Sharaim, Adithaim, and Gedor. Gedor is also called Gedorathaim. The total number of towns was 14. Some of them had villages near them. Here's another list of towns given to Judah in the western hills. Zenan, Hadashah, Migdal-Gad, Dilean, Mizpah, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, Eglon, Kabon, Lahmas, Kitlish, Gederoth, Beth-Dagon, Naamah, and Makkedah. The total number of towns was 16. Some of them had villages near them. Here's another list of towns given to Judah in the western hills. Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Ibtha, Asmah, Nezir, Kelilah, Aksiv, and Marishah. The total number of towns was 9. Some of them had villages near them. Judah was also given Ekron and the settlements and villages around. West of Ekron, Judah was given all the settlements and villages near Ashdod. Judah was given Ashdod and the settlements and villages around. And Judah was given Gaza and its settlements and villages. Judah's territory went all the way to the Wadi of Egypt and the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. Towns were also given to Judah in the central hill country. Here's a list of those towns. Shamir, Jatir, Sokor, Dana, Debir, Arab, Eshtamoa, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Gila. The total number of towns was 11. Some of them had villages near them. Here's another list of towns given to Judah in the central hill country. Arab, Duma, Eshan, Janim, Beth Tappuah, Aphekah, Humta, Hebron, and Zeel. The total number of towns was 9. Some of them had villages near them. Here's another list of towns given to Judah in the central hill country. Maon, Carmel, Ziph, Juttah, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah. The total number of towns was 10. Some of them had villages near them. Here's another list of towns given to Judah in the central hill country. Halhul, Bethzur, Gedor, Marath, Beth Anoth, and Eltekon. The total number of towns was 6. Some of them had villages near them. Here's another list of towns given to Judah in the central hill country. Kiriath Jearim and Rab. The total number of towns was 2. They had villages near them. Towns were also given to Judah in the desert. Here's a list of those towns. Beth Araba, Midian, Sekakah, Nibshan, the city of Saul, and En-Gedi. The total number of towns was 6. Some of them had villages near them. Judah couldn't drive out the Jebusites who were living in Jerusalem, so they lived there with the people of Judah to this day. The land given to the 2 tribes in the family line of Joseph began at the Jun River. Their border started east of the springs of Jericho. It went up from there through the desert into the hill country of Bethel. Bethel was also called Luz. From Bethel, the border crossed over to Ataroth. That's where the Archites lived. Then it went west down to the territory of the Japhletites. It went all the way to the area of Lower Bethhoron. It went on to Gaza. The border came to an end at the Mediterranean Sea. The tribes of Manasseh and Ephraim were from the family line of Joseph, so they received that land as their share. Here's the territory given to the tribe of Ephraim, according to its family groups. The border of their share of land started at Ataroth Adar in the east. It went to Upper Beth Horon. It continued toward the Mediterranean Sea. From Mikmethath on the north, it curved toward the east. It went to Tanath Shelah. It passed by Tanath Shelah to Genoa on the east. Then it went down from Genoa to Ataroth and Narrow. It touched Jericho and came to an end at the Jordan River. From Tapua, the border went west to the Cana Valley. It came to an end at the Mediterranean Sea. That was the land given to the tribe of Ephraim. Each family group received its share. The tribe of Ephraim was also given other towns and villages that were set apart for them. Those towns and villages were in the share of land given to the tribe of Manasseh. The people of Ephraim didn't drive out the Canaanites living in Gaza. The Canaanites live among the people of Ephraim to this day, but they are forced to work hard for the people of Ephraim. The land was given to the tribe of Manasseh. It was given to Machir. Machir was Manasseh's oldest son. The people of Gilead came from the family line of Machir. The people of Gilead had received the lands of Gilead and Bashan. That's because the people of Machir were great soldiers. So the land was given to the rest of the people of Manasseh. It was given to the family groups of Abiezer, Helek, Azriel, Shechem, Hefer, and Shunita. They were the other men in the family line of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. Those are the names by their family groups. Machir was the son of Manasseh, Gilead was the son of Machir, Hefer was the son of Gilead, and Zelophehad was the son of Hefer. Zelophehad didn't have any sons. He only had daughters. Their names were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. The daughters of Zelophehad went to Eleazar the priest and to Joshua the son of Nun. They soon went to the other leaders. They said, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us our share of land among our male relatives." So Joshua gave them land along with their male relatives. That was according to what the Lord had commanded. Manasseh's share was made up of 10 pieces of land. That land was in addition to Gilead and Bashan east of the Jordan River. So the 5 granddaughters of Hefer and the family line of Manasseh received land, just as the other 5 sons of Manasseh did. The land of Gilead belonged to the rest of the family line of Manasseh. The territory of Manasseh reached from Asher to Mikmethath. Mikmethath was east of Shechem. The border ran south from Mikmethath. The people living at En Tapua were inside the border. Manasseh had the land around Tapua, but the town of Tapua itself was on the border of Manasseh's land. It belonged to the people of Ephraim. The border continued south to the Cana Valley. Some of the towns that belonged to Ephraim were located among the towns of Manasseh. That the border of Manasseh was the north side of the valley. The border came to an end at the Mediterranean Sea. The land on the south belonged to Ephraim. The land on the north belonged to Manasseh. The territory of Manasseh reached the Mediterranean Sea. The tribe of Asher was the border on the north. The tribe of Issachar was the border on the east. Inside the land given to Issachar and Asher, the towns of Bethshan and Ibleam belonged to Manasseh. The towns of Dor, Endor, Tanach, and Megiddo and their people also belonged to Manasseh. Manasseh was given all those towns and the settlements around them. The third town on the list was also called Naphoth Dor, but the people of Manasseh weren't able to take over those towns. That's because the Canaanites had made up their minds to live in that area. The Israelites grew stronger. They forced the Canaanites to work hard for them, but they didn't drive them out completely. The people in the family line of Joseph spoke to Joshua. They said, "Why have you given us only one share of the land to have as our right? There are large numbers of us. The Lord has blessed us greatly." "That's true," Joshua said. "There are large numbers of you, and the hill country of Ephraim is too small for you. So go up into the forest, clear out some land for yourselves in the territory of the Perizzites and Rephaites." The people in Joseph's family line replied, "The hill country isn't big enough for us, and all the Canaanites who live in the plains use chariots instead of iron pots." They include the people of Bethshan and its settlements. They also include the people who live in the valley of Jezreel. Joshua spoke again to the people in Joseph's family line. He said to the people of Ephraim and Manasseh, "There are large numbers of you, and you are very powerful. You have more than one piece of land. You also have the central hill country. It's covered with trees. Cut them down and clear the land. That whole land from one end to the other will belong to you. The Canaanites use chariots instead of iron pots, and those people are strong, but you can drive them out." The whole community of Israel gathered together at Shiloh. They set up the tent of meeting there. The country was brought under their control. But there were still 7 tribes in Israel who had not yet received their shares of land. So Joshua spake to the Israelites. He said, "The Lord, the God of your people, has given you this land. How long will you wait before you begin to take it over? Appoint 3 men from each tribe. I'll send them to map out the land. Then they'll write a report about its features. The report will point out the share of land each tribe will receive. Then the men will return to me. You must divide the land up into 7 shares. Judah must remain its territory in the south. The people in Joseph's family line must remain in their territory in the north. Write reports about the features of those 7 shares of land. Bring them here to me. Then I'll cast lots for you in the sight of the Lord our God. The Levites don't get any share of our land, of your land. That's because their share is to serve the Lord as priests. The tribes of Gad and Reuben and half of the tribe of Manasseh have already received their shares. They are on the east side of the Jordan River. Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave their shares to them. The men started out on their way to map out the land. Joshua directed them, "Go and map out the land. Write a report about its features. Then return to me. I'll cast lots for you here at Shiloh in the sight of the Lord." So the men left and went through the land. They wrote a report about its features on the scroll. It showed how they divided up the land into 7 shares. It listed the towns in each share. The men returned to Joshua and the camp at Shiloh. Then Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh and the sight of the Lord. Then he gave out a share of land to each of the remaining tribes in Israel. The first lot drawn out was for the tribe of Benjamin, according to its family groups. The territory they were given was located between the tribes of the people of Judah and the people of Joseph. Here are the borders of Benjamin's territory. On the north side, their border started at the Jordan River. It went past the north slope of Jericho. Then it headed west into the central hill country. It came to an end at the desert of Beth-aven. From there, the border crossed to the south slope of Bethel. Then it went down to Ataroth Adar on the hill south of Lower Bethhoron. From the hill that faces Bethhoron on the south of the border turned south. Then the border went along the west side of the hill. It came to an end at Kiriath Jearim. That town belongs to the people of Judah. That was the border on the west. The border of the south on the south side started at the west edge of Kiriath Jearim. It came to an end at the springs of Nephtoah. It went down to the foot of the hill that faces the valley of Ben Hinnom. The hill was north of the valley of Rephaim. The border continued down at the Hinnom Valley. It went along the south slope of Jerusalem, where the people of Jebus lived. It continued on to En-Rogel. Then it curved north. It went to En-Shemesh. It continued on to Geliloth. Geliloth faces the pass of Adumim. The border ran down to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. It continued to the north slope of Beth Araba. It went on down into the Araba Valley. From there it went to the north slope of Beth Hogla. It came to an end at the north bay of the Dead Sea. That's where the Jordan River flows into the Dead Sea. That was the border on the south. The Jordan River formed the border on the east side. Those were the borders that marked out on all sides of the land the family groups of Benjamin received as their share. Here's a list of towns given to the tribe of Benjamin, according to its family groups: Jericho, Beth Hogla, Emek, Keziz, Beth Araba, Zemaraim, Bethel, Avim, Para, Ophrah, Kephar, Ammoni, Ophni, and Geba. The total number of towns and their villages was 12. Here's another list of towns given to Benjamin: Gibeon, Ramah, Beeroth, Mizpah, Kephirah, Moza, Rechem, Peel, Tarla, Zelah, Haleth, Jerusalem, Gibeah, and Kiriath. The total number of towns and their villages was 14. How was the share of land the family groups of Benjamin received? Proverbs 24. Do not want what evil people have. Don't long to be with them. In their hearts they plan to hurt others. With their lips they talk about making trouble. By wisdom a house is built. Through understanding it is made secure. Through knowledge, its ruins are filled with priceless and beautiful things. Wise people have success by means of great power. Those who have knowledge gather strength. If you go to war, you surely need guidance. If you want to win, you need many good advice. Wisdom is too high for foolish people. They shouldn't speak when people at the gate to conduct business. Anyone who thinks that simple things to do will be known as the one who plans to. Foolish plans are simple. People hate those who make fun of others. And if you grow weak when trouble comes, you distract those very small. Hold back those who are about to be killed. But don't say, well, we didn't know anything about this. Doesn't the God who knows what you are thinking see? Doesn't the God who guards your life know it? He will pay back everyone for what they have done. Eat honey, my son, because it is good. Honey from a honeycomb has a sweet taste. I want you to know that wisdom is like honey for you. If you find it, there is hope for you tomorrow. So your hope will not be cut off. Don't hide away like a burglar near a gully peasant's house. Don't rob their home. Even if gully people fall down 7 times, they always get up. But those who are evil trip and fall when trouble comes. Don't be happy when your enemy falls. When he trips, don't let your heart be glad. The Lord will see, but he won't be pleased. He might turn his anger away from your enemy. Don't be upset because of evil people. Don't long for what sins have. Tomorrow evil people won't have any hope. The lamps of sins will be blown out. My son, have respect for the Lord and the King. Don't join with officials who disobey them. The Lord and the King will suddenly destroy them. Who knows what trouble those two can bring? Here are more sayings of wise people. Taking sides in court is not good. A curse will fall on those who say the guilty are not guilty. Nations will ask for bad things to happen to them. And people will speak against them, but it will go well with those who stand in security. Rich blessings will come to them. Anonymous is like a kiss on the lips. Put your outdoor work in order. Get your fields ready. After that, build your house. Don't be a witness against your neighbor for no reason. Would you use your lips to tell lies? Don't say, I'll do to them what they have done to me. I'll get even with them for what they did. I went past the field of someone who didn't want to work. I went past the vineyard of someone who didn't have any sense. Thorns had grown up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds. The stone had fallen down. I applied my heart to what I observed. I learned a lesson from myself. You might sleep a little or take a little nap. You might even fold your hands and rest. Then you'll be poor as if someone had robbed you. You'll have little as if someone had stolen from me. Psalm 57. Have mercy on me, God. Have mercy on me. I go to you for safety. I find safety in the shadow of your wings. There I'll stay until the danger is gone. I cry out to God Most High. I cry out to God, and He shows that I am right. He answers from heaven and saves me. He puts to shame those who chase me. He shows His love that He is faithful. Men who are like lions are all around me. I am forced to lie down among people who are like hungry animals. Their teeth are like spears and arrows. Their tongues are like sharp swords. God, may you be honored above the heavens. Let your glory be over the whole earth. My enemies spread a net to catch me by the feet. I felt helpless. They dug a pit in my path, but they fell into it themselves. My God, my heart feels secure. My heart feels secure. I will sing and make music to you. My spirit, wake up. Harp and lyre, wake up. I want to sing and make music before the sun rises. Lord, I will praise you among the nations. I will sing about you among the people of the earth. Great is your love. It reaches to the heavens. Your truth reaches to the sky. To the skies. God, may you be honored above the heavens. Let your glory be over the whole earth. Now that's done, I shall now do the Lord's Prayer. Please pray heads. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as you forgive us forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.